Ohio State is Rose Bowl bound. Buckeyes paced Tennessee 42-17 here in Neyland North. That's Tim May, the 41-year vet. I'm Spencer Holbrook. The first round of the college football playoff is in the books after Ohio State 42, Tennessee 17, in a game that was never close, Tim. It got to 11 at halftime. Tennessee got the ball to start the second half. You thought, hey, maybe something interesting is going to happen here. No, the Buckeyes erased Tennessee in the first drive of the second half, went down and scored, and that was all she wrote. Buckeyes going to Pasadena now, and Luke Montgomery told me in the tunnel, I'm getting Whataburger. In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out Burger, yeah.
He's very excited about it, too. He played a damn good game on the offensive line, and this team absolutely destroyed Tennessee in one of the most emphatic wins of the Ryan Day era, one of the most impressive wins of the last 6 years, my time covering Ohio State. Just a dismantling top to bottom, left to right, front to back, every which way.
Analogies there.
Yeah, what'd you think, Tim?
Bottom line is, I've been covering this team for 41 years. This was as dominant a win on both sides of the ball that I can really recall against a credible opponent for a while. I mean, some of those wins over Michigan, in the last decade, those weren't really great Michigan teams, a lot of them and stuff. No. Well, we'll say this, the win over Clemson in 2020 in the college football playoff semifinal at the Sugar Bowl was pretty damn dominant, but this Tennessee literally had no chance tonight.
No.
And that's what stood out to me. Both segments of this team came out and grabbed this game by the throat. And the first guy to do it was Will Howard and Jeremiah Smith.
Oh, my gosh,
with that opening drive. And then defensively, I mean, you saw what happened in the first quarter. It was a decimation of Tennessee's offense, which was supposed to run the ball down Ohio State's throat with Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson, I think, only had like 2 or 3 carries in the whole game.
I think he was hurt, yeah.
He was banged up, but, nobody knew that. I'm sure a lot of the Tennessee writers, media guys are pretty upset about not knowing all that. But if they hadn't had Nico Iamaleava, I'm not sure what Tennessee would have done tonight. He kept them, I'm not going to say single-handedly, double-footedly in the game with some of his dazzling runs. I mean, that was dazzling. And it's too bad, really, that the backup defense gave up that last touchdown.
Yeah.
Because this game looked more appropriate to be in 42-10. And but it doesn't matter. They dominate on both sides of the ball. Guys that jump out at you, as Jack Sawyer, had his moment in Ohio Stadium after having his moment in the third quarter against Michigan. And then our fourth quarter against Michigan and having to give it back.
Yeah.
But I just thought the defense, I don't think this defense is getting enough run right now, being the number one defense in the country. And Jim Knowles has done a tremendous job, and his staff.
We'll get there, for sure.
No, but I mean, I wanted to mention it up front because.
So you want to talk defense first?
No, okay. When you play defense on the level Ohio State did tonight, and the other team doesn't have a chance until the game is already basically out of reach, that's saying something for your championship capability in this 4-game college football playoff era.
Well, here, Tim, the defense understood that the offense was going to be ultra aggressive, throwing the ball all around. It was evident from the jump that that's what they were going to do. Will Howard found Jeremiah Smith on a perfect touchdown pass, I think in that corner.
Yes.
To start the game, a 37-yard touchdown pass, one of the longest of Will Howard's Ohio State tenure because he doesn't throw the deep ball very much and with a lot of effect. Tonight was pinpoint, which got it 7-0, and I bet Josh Heupel was very regretful of giving Ohio State the ball first because it set the tone. But then here's the thing, and we're not even talking offense right now because that wouldn't have mattered if Tennessee went down and made it 7-7.
Correct.
They didn't. It was a 3-and-out for Tennessee just like that because they run the tempo, and Ohio State was right back on the field to
what
go
did
make.
I tell you about tempo earlier in the week?
To go make it 14-0. I'm telling you, I've never seen an offense like this. You hear about it all the time, but till you see it in person, it's kind of jarring. They put their guys on the outside hashes out here on the sideline, and they make you defend 53 1/3. Ohio State had no trouble with that whatsoever. There was a little bit of time where there was some option stuff that Tennessee tried where they moved the ball a little bit with some impact. But, man, Jim Knowles.
Mainly it was the quarterback.
Jim Knowles, masterclass in defending this kind of a defense, kind of an offense. Alabama will study what Jim Knowles did tonight. Georgia will study what Jim Knowles did tonight.
Historians 30 years from now, we'll be studying what Jim
Scholars.
Knowles' defense did.
No, it's so impressive.
Yeah.
They were really good against Michigan. The defense was. Obviously, that last drive, left something to be desired. But
Yes.
they did enough to win that game. I know Jim Knowles, refuted that. But here's the thing. They absolutely won the game tonight for Ohio State.
Yeah.
Because Ohio State didn't have to score beyond the first quarter.
Yeah.
And they still would have won because that's how good this defense was.
But I would give the offense a lot of credit.
Oh,
also.
yeah, for sure.
I mean, and then then they had Tennessee back on their heels after going up 21-0 in the first.
I mean, the run game doesn't work after
quarter. Tennessee did have a little bit of success in the second quarter.
Yeah.
On 2 drives, a field goal, but one of those was kept alive by a ridiculous roughing the passer penalty.
Oh, yeah.
On Kenyatta Jackson when Davison Igbinosun, Iggy as I call him, made a incredible. I was going to say ridiculous. That would have been too ridiculous in the same sentence.
Not everything's
an incredible
ridiculous.
Interception.
Yeah.
And Davison Igbinosun leaves nothing to be imagined about how he feels about things.
No.
And then all of a sudden they get that 15-yard penalty and ends up helping Tennessee when in fact Tennessee was shut down.
Yeah.
Great pressure all night for the most part on Nico Iamaleava. Just don't call him late for the starting lineup. But I'm telling you, without him at quarterback, and you can say the same thing, well, without Will Howard at quarterback for Ohio State, wow. I mean, Ohio State just shut them down, man.
Yeah, they did. Let's flip over to the offense because
If it sounds like I'm a little bit giddy, it's not. That's not really what I'm just like that Nebraska game where I was bewildered on what I had watched here. Though Ohio State's come back after a week and a half off, 2 weeks off after the loss at Oregon. I'm on the other side. I'm very impressed by the way Ryan Day and his coaching staff got this team ready to play against a Southeastern Conference power.
Yeah, I mean, 10-2 in the SEC. Apparently, that's no joke.
With a great plan on both sides of the ball. This is one of the great wins in Ohio State football history. Now, you got to back it up when you go to the Rose Bowl and play Oregon again.
Here, we'll get to the offense, but let's do this first. To do this to that team in 9-degree weather, because it is every bit of cold out here. It is
pretty
cold.
chilly.
It's cold. I forgot my hat. My ears are cold.
I've got a knit cap in my bag there. You want it?
No, but to do this in this weather against this team with this crowd, which this entire side over here was painted in spackles of orange.
Orange, yes.
And Rocky Top was blaring through this place in pregame. Ohio State got booed.
Tennessee fans showed up.
Yeah, Ohio State got booed the first time they came out of the tunnel
Correct.
because the Tennessee fans got here before the Ohio State fans did and made their presence known. Now, it ended up being like 70-30, maybe 80-20.
I don't know. More like 70-30. Bottom line
No,
is.
but to do that to this team with this atmosphere and to get that side of the stadium, the south stands where the students were, riled up so quickly and never let them have a reason to sit down. Again, like you just said, you said you were so impressed. I am so impressed with the way that they attacked tonight. And, Tim, this is the team. I don't want to say that we were promised, but, when Denzel Burke comes out and says natty or bust in July,
right,
you are almost promised a team like this. Is what we were promised. This is the show. The down the field passing to Jeremiah Smith, over the middle to Emeka Ibuka, the sacks by Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau, swallowing up
passes to G. Scott Jr.
Yeah, swallowing up rushing lanes with Tyleek Williams, who seems healthy. Cody Simon and Sonny Styles flying around. Caleb Downs and Lathan Ransom making every play imaginable. They didn't even try Denzel Burke downfield, and they're supposed to be a downfield passing attack. This is what we were promised. And I am so impressed that they did it again in 10 degrees in this environment at night in the college football playoff. It's so impressive.
Well, I'm going to write about this. This is might turn out to be the season of second chances for Ohio State.
Second
chance at a final game in Ohio Stadium. They capitalized with a capital C.
They get a second chance.
Let me
make Oh, yeah.
They get a second chance now at Oregon, a team that, for all intents and purposes, should have beaten. They should have beaten. Mm-hmm. We all know that now, looking back at that replay about 10 times, when Will Howard slid, there was a second on the clock. But they didn't get the timeout, and the fans stormed the field, and the Big Ten official said adios.
Yeah.
And now they get a second shot at Oregon. It's crazy in the Rose Bowl, and but it'll just be a quarterfinal game. it's quite the mountain now, the new mountain they have to climb, but they seem capable at this very moment.
The path is more clear now. Again, like I said, the offense was incredible. Will Howard was wonderful tonight. Some of his best throws he's ever had.
Yeah.
As a Wildcat or a Buckeye, just pinpoint accuracy tonight, especially on those 2 touchdowns to Jeremiah Smith. Just incredible. And then the long ball to Emeka Ibuka down the seam too.
Yeah.
That somehow got in there. Like, he was just on point. Then, the run game was fine. It was serviceable compared to what it was against Michigan. This offensive line was really good compared to expectations. The vaunted Tennessee defensive line didn't really do much of anything against Ohio State other than scraping the backside runs and, backside defensive tackles making some rundown tackles. But, like, they didn't really do a lot against this offensive line. I thought Luke Montgomery looked really good. The replay of this will bear that out, or it won't.
I thought
it'll
Chip
tell us
Kelly had
more.
a great.
Chip Kelly set the offensive line up for success.
He
is what
had
I'm
a
trying
great
to say.
run plan
Yeah.
for this offense.
Creative.
They were going to run the ball, but not like they had tried to do against Michigan. And and then finally, they did test the middle of the Tennessee defense where those 2 big tackles were.
Yeah.
Travion Henderson hit the middle. It was clogged, bounced out, and had, backbreaker.
Daylight.
Touchdown run. 2 great touchdown runs by Travion Henderson tonight. The other off of right tackle, right in, where Luke Montgomery comes over and just shoves the guy out of the way. Luke Montgomery getting his first extensive action in a real meaningful game.
And he looked for real, too.
But you know what? Tecker Chabot had some moments tonight, and definitely Austin Saravel going from left guard to right guard, left guard a few times, back to right guard.
Yeah, it was impressive.
They looked the part.
Okay, let's get out of here because it's 1 a.m.
But let's pay homage again to Travion Henderson, who had over 140 yards total offense somewhere
he
in
was
that
great.
general area.
Just fantastic.
Yeah, with 2 great runs, some couple of really good pass plays, good pass receptions and runs, and he really stepped up tonight too. So a lot of guys should get plaudits after this one. But man, when you get Jeremiah Smith involved early and often, it's a totally different looking offense.
Tim, what do you say we do this in Pasadena?
Yeah.
I told Tim, so I won't end up getting emotional at all. It's not really an Ohio State. I don't make this about me.
I don't care if you get emotional. I love college football, man.
My job isn't about me. It's about the players. It's about the coaches. It's about the people we talk about.
Yeah.
I grew up laying on the floor at my grandparents' house on New Year's Day, ribs and sauerkraut on the stove. My grandma's the best cook in the world. I would lay on my grandma Marlene's floor. I'd watch the Rose Bowl every year without fail.
No matter who was playing.
No matter who was playing. Yeah. And, of course, Ohio State Trail Pryor. I was young then. I'm not going to date anybody here.
2009.
Yeah, I'm not going to date anybody here with my age there. The Andy Dalton Rose Bowl, just classic Rose Bowls of my childhood that I remember ridiculously well. And I always wondered, would I ever get to go there? 2021, Ohio State goes to the Rose Bowl. I didn't get to go. Austin went out there for Lettermen Row, and you did a great job covering the team that
I was out
that
there
day.
also.
Yeah, you were there with him as well.
I was more like a freelance guy.
Yeah, but I didn't get to go.
Yeah, I know.
The next 10
was a
days.
bummer.
The next 10 days, and the reason that I stole a rose from somebody around here, this means a ton. Like, I can't wait. And I'm not making this about me, but like the next 10 days are going to be absolutely surreal. I know you've been out there quite a few times, kind of setting the stage for me for the next 10 days.
Yeah.
I'm elated, man. I can't wait. College football means everything to me. To get to go to the Rose Bowl, I don't mean to go on a diatribe here, but to get to go to the Rose Bowl and to see this team do it against that team, and they'll play Oregon, it's everything I've ever dreamed of with this job, and I can't wait. And you guys at home give me the opportunity to do it, not only in this stadium against an SEC power, but then go out to the Rose Bowl and do it against Oregon. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Let's touch one more point before you go, because I didn't bring my Kleenex box for you.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
You should be emotional, man. You should, if you love college football. The Rose Bowl, third quarter, when the sun is setting on the San Gabriel Mountains off the northeast corner of the stadium, is a sight like you will never see at any other bowl game, especially one in a dome.
Yeah.
But so where is the meter on Ryan Day as we stand here at this moment?
Happy.
This team just delivered one of the more dominant victories in a credible game that I've ever covered.
Yeah.
Where's the meter?
Yeah, I mean, the
fans seem to be really into it. I mean, the South Stand fans.
I thought that thing was going to come down.
Stayed till the end, just so they could sing with the team.
Third and goal with a minute to go. Tennessee's down there trying to just punch one in.
Yeah, with their back.
And it was the loudest I've heard.
No, not their back. Those are real guys.
But it was the loudest I've heard the stadium all year. The fans were still
full
loud
throat.
on the third down. Yeah. incredible performance by Buckeye Nation. I thought it was going to be
Not what I asked
a little
you, though.
lacking.
Not
No,
what I
but
asked you.
I mean, the crowd was behind this team because they knew that they needed to be. And that's because they knew that Ryan Day needed them. They knew that Will Howard needed them, and Caleb Downs, and all of the players, and Jack Sawyer especially, because this place means so much to him.
Do you know that Notre Dame can beat Georgia?
I know, yeah. So like the bracket sets up well for Ohio State. Like they know
No,
what's
I'm
in front.
talking about for the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like for Ryan Day, like it's got to be way down. Like if they would have won this game 24-21 as a nail biter, it's like okay, you lost to Michigan, you barely beat Tennessee. Let's see you do it against Oregon.
Yeah.
They dismantled Tennessee.
I know. They dismantled Rocky Top.
I don't think it matters what goes on the rest of the year. Like, I don't say that, but like, the temperature on him needs to be turned down after this.
Of course it does. But it doesn't erase what has
No,
happened
no.
before. But the bottom line is, this team his back was against the wall. Ryan Day and his staff, their back was against the wall, and they delivered in big time fashion. And and if you really are objective and looking at this thing, you already know they have the capability to beat Oregon. They just have to finish.
Yeah.
This story is far from over.
It is. It's going to continue in Pasadena at the Rose Bowl. Lettermen Row will be there every step of the way. We will be out in Pasadena after Christmas. We'll get some Christmas time with our family. We'll talk to Ryan Day. We'll talk to some Buckeyes, and we'll head out to Pasadena for the Rose Bowl in sunny Southern California. Ditch this coat for a pair of swim trunks. What do you say, Tim?
Well, I don't think you've been to. Obviously you haven't been to the Rose Bowl in late December and January because most of the time it's a little bit chilly.
I'm still jumping in the Pacific.
It'll feel warm to you, but it's still a little bit chilly.
That's a Spencer guarantee. That's Tim May, the 41-year vet. We're having a great time in the aftermath of Ohio State 42, Tennessee 17 here at Neyland North. That's what they wanted to call it, so I'm going to keep calling it that since they just got their ass kicked in this building.
Yes.
Tim May, the 41-year vet, Spencer Holbrook, Mick Walker on the other side of the camera. He did a great job with photos tonight, doing some stuff around the stadium for us. Really appreciate all the handiwork that he does for Lettermen Row. And, of course, the recruiting coverage he and Alex Gleitman bring. We're going to cover the transfer portal in the meantime, too. Go to lettermenrow.com. Get 7 days for $1. That's Tim May. I'm just Spencer Holbrook. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. In the aftermath of Ohio State 42, Tennessee 17. Good night, everybody. I'm going to go warm up.